everybody, it is April and I am in my craft room, and today we're going to make a quilt out of strips that ends up being two. I found a pattern that I was very excited about, years ago, that I had kind of forgotten about. It's called Double Dipping, and it is by Cozy Quilt Designs. At the time I found this pattern, purchased this pattern, I also purchased the fabrics that I wanted to use to make it. So this is a strip set from Boundless, and I believe Boundless used to be made by Craftsy, maybe? And these Boundless fabrics, these strips, came in kind of ombre. So it isn't ombre light to dark, it's ombre all the way through. Perfect colors. I had discovered my love of bright colors, and it is evident in this collection. I also needed a background fabric. I shy away from just flat white. I'm not real sure why, I just do. So I like white on white. And I found this strip set by Wilmington, and it's called Essential Gems and white out. So I don't know if you can see, but it's a white on white fabric. Hopefully you can see the white on white. So that's my background fabric. There is a ruler that makes this pattern easier, and it is called the Strip Tube Ruler. Now, where I saw this quilt being demoed was a YouTube video featuring the Strip Club quilting gathering. And I thought that was hilarious. You call it the Strip Club, it means one thing or another. In this case, it means strips of fabric. I find those kinds of things funny. So, I got the Strip Tube Ruler. Now, the reason they call it double dipping is because you really get two quilts in one. And if you look, you can see here's the quilt that's the main quilt, and then there's this little quilt that you use all the extra fabric left over from this quilt to make. And you're actually making them both at the same time because of the way that you're cutting the fabric. It seems really straightforward, so let's just get started. You're going to take a strip of fabric that either has a print or is a color, and you're going to take a strip of fabric that is a background fabric. All of your background fabrics should be the same-ish. You can, of course, play with that, but for this particular pattern, I'm going to use all white on white strips. So for one tube, you'll need a background and a print, and a background and a print. And on each one, on one side, you will sew a 1/4 inch seam. Then you will have two strips. One of these strips will be pressed to the print side. The other strip will be pressed to the background color side. Then to make your tube, you are going to put your backgrounds together and your print or colors together. And you are going to sew down each side of this, making a tube. So here you have your colors together and your white or background fabric together. And the reason they call it a tube is because, it's a tube. Now from your tube, using your ruler, your strip tube, get it? Strip tube ruler, you are going to cut what should be 8 blocks, and you will have 4 blocks with 2 color strips in the middle, and you will have 4 blocks with 2 white strips in the middle. The pattern will tell you where to place the seam line along the bottom of your ruler. The top point should be below the seam line. The reason I point this out is because the first one I cut out, I didn't really have the right measurement at the bottom, so I cut where the seam was included up here, and I still had a tube. So let me show you. So when I say below the seam line, I mean this seam should be above this point. And you're going to rotate back and forth. And this will take forever. So here is my first block, and this is the block with the colors in the center. Another thing, when you go to cut the next block, you will hold your ruler. It will be upside down from the way you cut before. So you're going to flip it this way, and this way, and this way, and this way. Do not, I repeat, do not line up the edge of this ruler with the edge of your block, thinking, oh look, I have a nice straight line. Yes, you also have a little bit of fabric over here that doesn't go all the way over. Doesn't work out well. Here is my next block. This block has the 2 white strips in the center. So you get 2 quilts. You get a quilt that you can make with the colorful or print in the center, and then you can make another quilt with just the white in the center. Actually, I believe this is your primary quilt, and this is your secondary quilt. Now, about, I don't know, 5 million strips in, I lost interest. I thought I had 44 white strips. I don't have 44 white strips. Thank you, Lord. So, let's go see what I'm going to do with my double dipping pattern. So you can see that I have the white in the center on top, and then I have the color in the center on the bottom. I don't even think, let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there are 90 blocks here. 90. 90. I've never made a quilt with 90 blocks. So, I'm done with the blocks with this part. I've done it. I can say I did it. I'm done. So my double dipping quilt is going to be 2 scoops. A scoop of the white in the center and a scoop of the color in the center. And I found some pretty floral fabric that I'm going to use to divide my 2 scoops because I don't like different flavors of ice cream touching. And then I will probably put a border on top and a border on bottom. And this I think is going to be wide enough, but I'll put also a border on each side. Hopefully I've got, depending on how much of this fabric I have, that's my plan. 90. So I'm going to sew these blocks together and smile while I am doing it. And when I get back, I will show you my 2-scoop quilt. My blocks have these dog ears. And instead of using the rotary cutter, I'm going to snip them off with a pair of scissors as I am sewing them together. My quilt top is done. I made a couple changes from the direction I was headed in. Because I had all of these blocks here and here that were part of strips, I kind of thought it might be good to have strips separating the 2 scoops of my 2-scoop quilt. So I took some strips and I actually found some more white strips and I put them together to separate instead of using the flowers. For some reason I just thought that might kind of bring it together since all these are made of strips. So that's what I did with that, and then I added a 4-inch border with the flowers all around it. I'm kind of pleased with the way it turned out. I do want to show you something that I kind of figured out. As I was playing around, instead of just using 1 white strip and 1 print or color, I used 2. And it made my blocks bigger. You can use more strips and make bigger blocks, or you can make your strips wider and come up with bigger blocks. So there are other options for this type of quilt. They don't always have to be the little bitty blocks. Next time that I put out a video, and actually I'm going to put out a video that's scheduled and it's at 7 p.m. on July 1st, I am going to have a special guest in my craft room. So you'll have to tune in and see what we're going to make. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, eat some chocolate, and be kind to everyone. Until next time, bye. At that point, I started collecting patterns. Oh my gosh, my nose. And I shy away. Oh my gosh, it's all this fabric. A 1/4-inch seam down each side. Nope. So your point should be below the seam line. Seam line. And like I said, at the top, this should be below the seam line. Seam line. I can't say line. Seam line that you're in. How's that for, like, you know, totally crazy? I know now why I put this up and it was never to be seen again, only I forgot never to see it again.